Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Nitecore BlowerBaby. Now this is a air blower designed specifically for cleaning sensors on full frame APS-C and of course micro four thirds cameras. So if you have a mirrorless camera like the ones that I review on a frequent basis, the A7R4, I have the A7R2 in-house, I'm filming on the FX3, this could be something you really want to look into. And at roughly $80, it might sound expensive, but I will tell you right now that if it works, it isn't. And that's because the majority of traditional air blowers that are similar to this but are not designed for cleaning camera sensors, they're not that far away in price. For example, I've got my Opalar here that I use for general cleaning of things like keyboards and other electronic components. It's really large, if you didn't notice. And then I've also got the Kika Jet fan that I've covered in the past. And they all work, they do the job, but this is definitely unique. So let's go ahead, break the seal, get this thing out of the package, if I can even find where the seal is. The packaging is actually quite nice on this, so I don't want to, caveman it, but I am not seeing a physical seal on this part, so I'm going to see, yeah, I was able to pop it out. How do you like that? And then they've included these additional accessories that Nitecore makes, which I'll be taking a look at as well. So as I stated, a 1500 milliamp hour battery inside of the BlowerBaby. Begin your new era of electronic air blowing. Well, we're going to begin that era today. So first and foremost, seems like we've got an aluminum body, the power button right there, your USB Type-C. Let's see if it works. It does. Pretty strong, I have to say. Pretty strong. Another thing you may notice, there is a filter right here. This is the air intake, and of course the air comes out of here. They've put a silicone ring essentially around that so that if you're cleaning out a camera sensor, it's not going to hit the metal frame or plastic for that matter. So it's an attempt to protect your device. And what I was mentioning about this is that the filter looks like in order to lock, you've got to turn it one of two ways, I'm assuming. Yep. So there is the filter. Now, if you want to clean an actual sensor, this is not what you would use. You use this in the event you're just using the air blower. But if you want to clean a sensor, we're going to use one of the accessories they sent over. But let's see what else is in here. Before I get to that, I'm assuming this is just a Type-C cable. It is a Type-C to Type-A for charging. And a little bit of paperwork in there. I don't think there's anything else. They're probably just going through all of the accessories, and they are, because you will need these in order to do the job properly. So they're noting the Micro Four Thirds brush. These are the sensor cleaning swab series, which I believe I've got some of here. So they have one for Micro Four Thirds. They have one for full frame, medium format, APS-C. You get the idea. And of course your instructions for the BlowerBaby. But let's get to this guy right here, which is the filter for sensor cleaning, because you really need to make sure that you're not introducing things to your sensor that will harm it. And that's why devices like this have never been ideal for sensor cleaning. You always will, at least I do, and most people use traditional air blowers that use just air and are not powered by a motor, have no electronic components, so that you're just using a pump essentially to blow dust out of your camera. You're preferably going to do that. Let's see if I can open it from the bottom without even having to cut anything. You're going to do that with the sensor facing the ground so that you have the assistance of gravity. Gonna have to cut the seal after all. But this, as soon as Nitecore contacted me about this, I was interested because, again, anyone that follows my channel knows the trouble I have opening packages, but knows that was a joke, obviously, but also not, knows the amount of, camera gear that I review, and I'm always looking for a good way to actually clean my sensors. I mean, there's nothing worse than you go to capture footage and it's marred by dust on the sensor. With a device like this in your gear bag, that may actually be avoidable. So let's go ahead and see if I can lock this on. I've read no instructions because I'm a genius. I'm going to try to just line it up based on not so common sense, and we'll see if I can get it. Well, there's an arrow, so, and considering I turned the other, yep, there we go. I turned the other one left in order to unlock it. Right, righty-tighty does lock it in. So now it's locked in, and I like that they color coded this because that does kind of make it bulletproof, right? If it's blue, you know that, I'm having trouble focusing here, of course, you know that you've got the correct side. So let's go ahead. Now, they claim it's 40 miles an hour, 70 kilometers, so a little over 40 miles an hour. I'm not sure that it's 40 miles an hour, but it is fairly strong. And again, for its form factor, it is considerably smaller. I think this will fit better in a gear bag, and it won't damage anything around it. I think that's important. Has a little lanyard attachment, so you could just throw the regular filter in here in the event that you're going to be using, for the most part, the actual sensor cleaning filter. Now, let's see what else they've sent over. Go ahead and move some of this aside. There's quite a bit of stuff here. So we've got cleaning kits. I'm less interested in the cleaning kits. Granted, Nitecore made sure to let me know you will need those cleaning kits. Let's look at the camera cleaning pen. That seems like something a little bit more interesting because this, I feel like, is a standalone product. Not that the others aren't. The sensor cleaning kits are as well. But I feel like this is something that people could buy independently and actually have in their gear bag for obvious reasons. But it does work, like all of these, in conjunction with the BlowerBaby. I mean, that was the premise of Nitecore sending this all over. I did not ask for all of these things. It was basically, do I want to review the BlowerBaby? And then they were like, well, in order to review it, you need the rest of this stuff. So I'm having trouble pulling this out. What did I say about me and packaging? Reversible magnetic carbon cleaning tip, storage compartment for cleaning brushes. You may not be able to see that text. It's quite small, but I'm pulling it out. So, again, magnetic carbon cleaning tip. Aha. So, there you go. It pops in magnetically. That's pretty cool if I can get it in focus. And, I used to use devices like this once upon a time. It takes a little bit of gall to go onto your sensor and use something like this on it. But if it's coming from a reputable company and it is actually designed to do the job, well, it should do the job. So we're going to find out. And then on the interior, you saw it said that it is storing the brushes. So where the Nitecore branding is the top side. And there you have it. So you've got a little suite of different tools to use with this device, or alternatively, the BlowerBaby. So, because these I do not think fit into this, so you do want to have these in conjunction. I'm not sure about the color coordinating, but pretty sure this just pockets on. Let's see. Indeed it does. I may have it upside down. That's very possible. But the idea being, if you want to clean out crevices in a camera, things of that nature, you're going to be able to do that fairly easily using that attachment that incorporates a brush. Let's see what the other one, it's a finer brush than the other. So this is, again, for more delicate contact, you're going to be using this. Let's see what the packaging says. That would be a good idea, right? A little bit of instructions in there. And essentially it just says non-liquid carbon cleaning formula, which is what's attached right now. Safe to use and environmentally friendly, one-hand operable brush and blow process. Which, yeah, I can see how that would work. Now let's go ahead and just take a quick glance at the user manual. So basically what I'm seeing here is that they are letting you know that one is a lens cleaning brush, the other is a body cleaning brush. So these are not something you're going to use on the sensor. You would want to put a brush to a sensor. That's what this is for, okay? That is the carbon cleaning tip. The lens cleaning brush is the yellow. So if you want to just take some dust off your lens, that's what the fine brush is here for. And the other is for the camera body. So I was kind of already onto that with the rough bristle texture. And then they're just showing, of course, the ability to, I did put this on right, surprise, surprise, to do that. So as a little test, let's go ahead and grab my A7R4, which has the Zeiss 55 f1.8 still a classic in my opinion. This is a great pairing. You want to take some beautiful shots and even some solid video, you're going to do it with this. You're not going to have a problem. So let's try this right now. Even though I have the sensor cleaning filter, let's just go ahead and see. Not that I have that much dust on here. I don't. Is the battery dead already? Nope, not yet. I got to say, I dig it because it does really, it's twofold in terms of its operation and how well it's handling things. But let's get something a little dustier, something that's not as actively used. And I'm looking at my gear here to see which is the dusty culprit. The A7R2 definitely gets out less than the 4, but I don't think it's going to be that dusty either. I don't think we're going to find something gross here. And you know what? It's not looking too gross, but you get the idea. It's pretty straightforward. With a device like this, you have the ability to clean up your gear and to do it safely, I think most importantly. Remember, this is for the sensor. You don't want to use anything else on it. And then you've got your two attachments, one being for the lens. And I kind of already dig this quite a bit. Don't remember the orientation that these were in there, but I mean, I could have told you that that was coming, that I would forget. So I'm not even going to try. I will look at the illustration in order to figure out how to pocket them back in. It's not that complicated, but you know, oh well. So we've covered all that. Let's take a look at the actual sensor cleaning kits, and then we'll call it a day on the Nitecore product line. But I think this is really smart. You know, again, I think of like the other air blowers I have, and they're just not safe to use with camera gear. You can use it on external parts, but I still would trust a system like this over what I've got. So they're saying this is for cleaning CCD and CMOS sensors, lenses, and photosensitive parts. And they're also letting you know that you've got to store the cleaning fluid in a ventilated area and avoid heat or sunlight. So they're telling you to choose a cleaning area, adjust the camera to clean mode, take off the lens, use a professional air blower. They're talking about theirs to blow the dust away, take out a cleaning swab and make the tongue piece from about 60 degree. They're saying use a 60-degree angle. Cleaning face with the sensor surface, gently drag one side to the other. Repeat in the opposite direction using the clean side of the swab. Fourth is change a new swab to repeat step 3 until the CCD CMOS sensor or the lens is clean. If stubborn stains remain, quickly drip 3 to 4 drops of the sensor cleaning fluid on the newly opened swab and repeat step 3 within 3 seconds. I'm not going to do this right now, but yeah, so that's what you get. You get essentially the tool, the fluid, pretty straightforward. I would wear gloves. Definitely recommend it. If you don't have them, you don't have them. And again, this is a wet solution, which this is really designed for when, you know, things are as bad as they can possibly get. And the same applies to this guy right here. They're calling both, 24 mil full frame sensor cleaning solutions, but you can see the length on this is quite a bit more. And in the event your camera body is a deeper reach, you're going to appreciate that if you want to stay away from it. But pretty much the same instructions. That got a little bit ripped when I was opening the packaging. What did I tell you about my problems with opening packages? I told you. So I'm not going to even pop these open now. And then last but not least is this lens cleaning kit. So I'll try to link them all. But again, the star of the show is the BlowerBaby and, of course, the camera cleaning pen. I think these are the two things that are ideal to have in the bag. Of course, always good to have a wet cleaning solution. But I have to say, if you're careful, you generally probably won't need that. I mean, only a few times have I been in a situation where a wet cleaning process is necessary, but it does happen. So don't presume that you're always going to get away with using a blower like this or just a traditional hand pump blower. You're not always going to get away with that. There will be circumstances where you're going to need the wet cleaning kits, and that's why these are good to have. But that pretty much rounds it out. Again, I think this is an incredibly useful little product, and I really dig it. Definitely differentiates itself from the majority of air blowers that I've seen in days past, and I'm looking forward to starting to use it on a fairly regular basis. This will live in my camera gear bag and travel with my A7R4. So definitely interested in putting it to use and eventually coming back to let all of you know if it does the job that Nitecore is presenting it capable of. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe and please stay safe. Later.